welcome everybody to the first episode of Citizen Auditors. My name is Jonathan. I'll be your host today, and I will be co-hosted by our good friend Rastef, who is more on the technical side and will allow us to take a deeper look at all of the things that require a little bit of technical insight. So who are we? Dot.Foundation. We are a bunch of people that have been involved in the Polkadot ecosystem in one way or another. And the governance situation has been somewhat of an ongoing debate around Polkadot. So our goal is just to make it a little bit more fun, accessible, and also give projects the opportunity to pitch their proposals to the very people that are deciding it. So if you have a project and a running proposal right now, go check out our Twitter. There you can find the link to this very Google Meet meeting. If you want to show anything about your proposal, then please knock on our door and we will gladly let you in to share anything that you wish about your proposal. So let's start out with a look at the Treasury proposal, Treasury situation, and then we are getting right into the proposals. And we have Limo. Hey, Limo, how's it going? Yeah, just wanted to go briefly over the Treasury situation here. I think the most interesting thing is that the Treasury has been growing quite significantly. So this is basically the graph that I briefly wanted to show off. We can see the Treasury is basically sitting at an all-time high. So yeah, we have a bunch of proposals lined up that we want to discuss. We will admit everybody into this call. Hey, we got Andrew, one of our fat friends. We got Young Beef. We got all of the Polkadot nobility joining us. Lovely. Hope everybody is doing great. So we are talking about the specialized learning path here, if we are following the same doc.
Yes, right.
Right. So I think the best way of going about it, because some of these proposals are somewhat lengthy, we are just going to go the easy way and click this handy AI summary feature here. Quick admittance. Boop. All right, so Metaschool is an edtech platform for developers to learn about Web3, and they want to create a learning track for developers interested in the Polkadot ecosystem. They want to attract more developers to Web3, that is a good thing, and show them why Polkadot is a good choice for building decentralized applications. Now, we can see that this has a lot of nay power here. 1.2 million dots are not for this proposal. We only have 375 that are voting.
Yeah, sorry. Can you please check again? Like, let's fix this issue from technical side first about the stream, and a lot of people are waiting. And yeah, we can start from scratch.
Yeah, it's saying me stop streaming here on YouTube. It is saying excellent connection and end stream. So I'm not sure how to fix it on the fly now. We will have the recording in any case. What do you think?
Yeah, good. Do you share your screen?
Yes.
To the Google meeting, at least.
Yeah. Let me do that. You're right. And here we go. And we have Alina. Perfect. So do we have anybody that is from the proposer of Metaschool demystifying Polkadot? Is there anybody on here from the team to turn this around? Doesn't look too promising, but maybe we can give it a shot with a good pitch about how to demystify Polkadot. Do you know if we got anybody lined up here, Rust?
Hi, sorry to interrupt. I was just wondering, the online translation on YouTube, it doesn't work. Is it according to the plan, or?
Well, the plan was to have YouTube working, but yeah, fixing it on the fly doesn't seem like, respecting everybody's time that is joining our call here. I think we are just going to go with uploading the recording. If the live streaming doesn't work, that's unfortunate, but we are going to have the recording in any case. All right, perfect. Yeah, Russ, do we have anybody coming up for Metaschool demystifying Polkadot?
Yeah, it seems not yet. Let's go further.
Right, let's bench this one, although it might be tricky to turn this one around. Next up, we've got artificial intelligence for security monitoring on a network level. We are going to hit AI summary and see what this is about. Women in Blockchain Canada is proposing to use artificial intelligence for security monitoring on a network level. They want to build a machine learning tool that can find anomalies and warn about security issues in real time. All right, Women in Blockchain Canada, do we have anybody that is wanting to talk about this proposal right here? I think we had somebody wanting to join, but let's talk about it regardless. So I'm really not sure what it means to monitor for security threats. I guess that would be one of the major concerns as well in this proposal here. There is not really a lot of info on how AI would detect any security threats or how they would look like. Anybody has an opinion? Anybody has something to show us for this proposal? Currently getting downvoted quite a lot, but we can see that there is, a lot of voting power involved here. Russ, do we have anybody that is coming up for that proposal?
I think no, but I want to say that really community showed they thoughts about it, voting so many nay against it, and I think really there's no reason to just connect some artificial intelligence monitoring stuff to the network from outside of parity. I think so.
Right. I mean, you're a Rust developer. I would be interested to learn, like, do you have any idea on what kind of security threat we are even talking about here?
Yeah, I think we just the group of people who created this proposal, they want to monitor what strange something happened with the network, and probably to prevent something in the future. But really, the proposal itself not describe it very well structured, so it's hard to tell what the people want to monitor and improve.
Yeah, I think that would be a first good ingredient of this proposal. First, what is the problem that we are talking about here? It is very vaguely described. And then whether AI is going to be sufficiently able to read on-chain extrinsics and then extrapolate whether a security threat is going on. It seems very ambitious. Somebody here has been pulling data from the GitHub, and it shows that the data is from 2015. So I would assume somebody is trying to use some mathematical AI system from 2015 and try to horseshoe it onto Polkadot. Not really sure if that is really worth. How much are they asking? 6,700 DOT roughly. It's not a lot, but questionable whether this is really going to benefit the ecosystem. All right, if there is nobody from the team, maybe anybody has some ideas, some feedback on that, how to make it into a good proposal. Do we need artificial intelligence protection on Polkadot? If anybody has a strong opinion, we'd love to hear it. And with that, let's move on to Patron milestones 2 to 7. So therefore, we are going to ask the AI summary. Patron is a tool to verify and build smart contracts, helping Polkadot to become more secure. This is definitely a topic where we are going to ask you about, Rust. For a non-technical person, what are we looking at here?
Yeah, first of all, we are waiting more application start deploy to Polkadot, and this proposal very well structured for me, and I understand that it's really solved the issue because in Substrate what we have the Ink smart contract platform and Patron. It's very good tools, and I would like to ask Yuri to present how it works and yeah, Yuri.
Yeah, hi all. Nice to meet you. My name is Yuri, and I'm the product lead of Patron. Do you see now?
Hey, Yuri? Yes, we can.
Cool.
Lovely. Please take it away.
A small background. The Patron is a part of Brushfam company, and you may also know the Brushfam company with the Open Brush product, which is very popular on Polkadot. Yeah, and the Patron is a tool to verify and build smart contracts in one step. In real world, in two steps, because the first step is auth to prevent build system abuse, and the second step is to deploy and verify. Yeah. And today I want to tell you about what we want to develop in this milestone. We already delivered the first milestone of Patron to Dot.Foundation and approved by them, and it works already with Astar and Olive Zero network. And here is a scope of completed work. You also can see the scope in the Google documents in proposal. And the second milestone, it's server image update. We want to utilize Parity's verification image on a server to make the build more faster and to do this in more isolated manner. Yeah. Also, we want to implement Patron verify command, so every developer can check that code hash of the remote build and code hash on the local machines of this developer is the same. Yeah. Also, we want to completely restructure the front end and make UI more friendly for user. The next milestone, we want to do a lot of work with color interface, which we call this like this. Yeah, we want to implement automatic native methods discovery, automatic generations of methods description and data, and the UI to interact with methods. In fourth milestone, we want to make the CLI more powerful and more UX friendly for developers and support more features in this. In fifth milestone, we want to integrate in an analyzer to Patron to make some automatic scanning of code and show some potential vulnerabilities and mistakes in code. And sixth milestone is about integration of a lot of tools like Salt2Ink, OpenBrush, and TypeChain, so developer will have all in one place. And the seventh milestone is about scripting functionality, which is very important in our mind for developers to make some specific use cases when they interact with contracts. And I think this is a short description. Thank you very much for your attention.
Hey, short and sweet. Yuri, thanks so much. If you allow, I got some questions here. So as a non-technical person, right, it's somewhat hard for me to judge, how useful that is. Maybe you can talk a little bit about who is using it right now and who it is really made for?
For now, I think only developers use this because only developers can read source code, as you understand. And in general, this feature allows you as a user to have to know that the source code that is deployed to the blockchain is the same that source code is shown to you, or for example, GitHub or some product pages. And also we have some ideas how to make this useful for regular users. But I think it's a separate discussion. But in general words, we want to make another tab, not source code, but some rules like in human words, what happens inside the contract.
That sounds very interesting, for sure. I mean, as a non-technical person, it's already very apparent to me that it is very useful to be able to verify whether the code you see on GitHub is the code that has actually been deployed. So yeah, it sounds understandable to me. We got somebody raising his hand. I think
And I also want to add some small note that I forget. This proposal already partially funded by Olive Zero team, and in proposal you can see that some part of budget is split to Olive Zero team and Polkadot.
I see. And we have Limo coming in with a question here. Do you happen to know how many people are using it right now? From which teams?
We successfully integrated on previous week with Fala network, and they integrated Patron into their product, and we will have the public announcement in, I think, few weeks, a bit later. And also some teams like OpenBrush use it to test and deploy. And also we see that part of Polkadot ecosystem started to use this, but not all Polkadot ecosystem yet, because we need more functionality, not only basic functionality that we have now, but a bit more, which we described in these milestones.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Yeah, thanks, Limo, for passing on the questions. So passing on the question that Limo has forwarded, it was funded in part by Aleph Zero, as we learned, but why did they stop funding it?
They don't stop funding it. They funding this at current moment, but they can fund only the part of our proposal, not full.
I see. Fair enough. All right, Dimitri.
And I described this in the document, which part is funded by Aleph Zero.
I see. Perfect. Thanks so much. Dimitri, you've been raising your hand. Any comments?
Yes. Hi, guys. And Yuri, I have a question about your product. If you say some of company started to use your code, yes, your application, is correct to say, and maybe you can show how it's look. How I can check Git repository is same with upload product to blockchain.
Sure. You mean web interface or GitHub repository? What do you want to see?
No, if I'm okay, maybe when you explain how work your product, yes, you say people. I think not about the developer, client, yes, or product will able to compare source code in Git and real product on live. Is it correct?
Yeah.
And maybe if any company start to use your system, yes, maybe you can show how it's look and say this guy use source code from Git or not.
You mean automate this process?
And not automate. I want check how it's look. If I understand you finish milestone 1, yes, and maybe you can show how it's look.
Yeah, I will show you a link how the source code of verified contract looks, and you can open GitHub for any product and compare this code and code of verified contract.
Yeah, Yuri, if you have a way of showcasing it, like we can make 2 minutes for that. That's not a problem. If not, just drop a link on how people can use it. That would also be great.
The link here, for example, is verified contract of sample Flipper contract. Yeah, and you can open code tab. We will implement better file system in next version of this, but for multi-contracts and multi-file contracts. But yeah, you can open code tab if the contract is verified and compare to the source code on GitHub or somewhere else.
All right, great. Rust, let's hear your opinion here.
I really like the product from Open Brushfam, and I think this is the only one great solution that we have right now for smart contract development. And a lot of projects uses Ink, especially with Open Brush. So to extend your Open Brush tools with this Patron new like tools, okay, it's very useful. So I really like it. And yeah, thank you. Very well structured, and yeah, that's all. We have the next.
Thank you very much for attention.
Yeah, and we have next people who want to share. It's a Joseph from Composable, and he has a presentation, some presentation about the upcoming referenda that will happen. Yeah, please, Joseph.
Perfect. That's great. Let's look at the proposal first. I'll be getting back to screen share now. And so here we are looking at an open communication layer for Polkadot. So we are going to go with the AI summary again. OpenCom is a communication tool for the Polkadot ecosystem, allowing people to have discussions on the blockchain, making communication decentralized and accessible for everyone. And it has been integrated in various apps in the ecosystem. Interesting. So I understand that we are ready to see a short presentation about that.
Yeah, sorry, just there's some miscommunication. This is not related to this proposal, but Joseph will share some information about upcoming proposal and want to know the thoughts from you.
Right. Okay. So we are talking about an upcoming proposal.
Yeah.
Sure. And just to reply to Damsky here, yeah, sounds good. Let's do that at the end, if that is okay with you. And then we would love to hear about Coda.dot as well. So with that, Tommaso, if you're ready, then yeah, you can present your screen. Joseph, sorry.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, just a sec. Okay, so I'll just run through what we're planning here. And for context, this is from Composable. Composable is a parachain that exists right now on the Kusama network under the name Picasso. Composable will be the name of our Polkadot parachain. And as just general context on the project itself, our main goal here is extending IBC outside of the Cosmos ecosystem. So we started out with connecting both Polkadot and Kusama over IBC, allowing users to transfer Polkadot between the Kusama relay chain and the Polkadot relay chain, as well as KSM Kusama itself as well. Right now, we're connected between Polkadot, Kusama, and most of the leading Cosmos app chains over there. So at the moment, what we're looking to do is kind of broaden the horizon of the reach of the DOT and KSM tokens themselves. And we're looking to do this through a treasury proposal, which would secure $1 million in DOT funding. And this is primarily going to be used to create liquidity pools amongst Osmosis and Astroport. So these are two of the leading DEXs in the Cosmos ecosystem. And the goal here is to create liquidity so that we can become the quote unquote canonical bridge for DOT-based assets. Right now, most of these platforms use Axelar's wrapped dot as the native dot asset. And we're looking to bring these things over IBC and become the primary version there. So ideally, the process is going to go something like Treasury proposal, which we'll put up this week, looking to secure $1 million in dot funding. At which point, governance proposals amongst both Osmosis and Astroport will move to on-chain voting for us to become the quote-unquote canonical version there. We'll look to create liquidity pools of .Osmo and .Neutron. Neutron is the smart contracting platform that Astroport is deployed on in Cosmos. This is a CosmWasm VM-based application. And at that point, once we've established liquidity pools, we'll look to broaden the horizon there across UMI, Mars, and Levana. UMI and Mars are both lending protocols within the Cosmos ecosystem, the two biggest that exist there right now. So allowing users to go ahead and bring DOT over into Cosmos and go ahead and lend those assets out and borrow against them, whether it be stable coins or something like Atom or Osmosis itself. This would then be enabled using DOT brought over through our IBC-based bridge called Centauri. And generally, the idea of this proposal is to kind of bring DOT and KSM into this ecosystem so that we can go ahead and get assets from Cosmos back out into Polkadot and Kusama. I think right now, the problem that we're primarily targeting is that Polkadot and Kusama have been heavily segregated amongst themselves, which hasn't really been an issue as things have been building. But what we would like to see is value brought back into the Polkadot and Kusama ecosystem. So some of the larger assets out in Cosmos right now are obviously Atom and its staked version, ST Atom, which is provided by the Stride app chain in the Cosmos ecosystem. So, I mean, to sum things up here, essentially, we have the bridge open. We'll be looking to acquire DOT and kind of proliferate this asset across the ecosystem and then encourage users to go ahead and bring their Cosmos-based assets back into Polkadot for use amongst parachains there. So this week, we'll be going ahead and posting this proposal on chain with the Polkadot Treasury. And I'm sure the folks hosting this call there can keep everybody up to date as far as this going live. And I think we can go ahead and touch base probably next week once this is actually on chain and let everybody know that this is actually going forward.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Joseph. That was a good overview. I would be having some questions, and so is Limo, or at least forwarding them. Perfect. So are you also getting liquidity from the Cosmos ecosystem? So yeah, the bridge is working, of course, to connect Polkadot and Cosmos, but are there any plans on, you already touched upon it, to bring Cosmos assets into Polkadot?
Yeah, definitely. So I can go ahead and speak first to what we've done as far as bringing assets to Cosmos, and then I'll go ahead and talk about a little bit bringing Cosmos assets back to Polkadot. So on our side, we're connected with most of the leading app chains across Cosmos right now. So you can go ahead and check out Osmosis and Astroport, and you'll see things like .USDC and KSM USDC pools over there. At the same time, we have governance proposals up amongst most of the lending platforms, UMI, Mars, Agoric, as well as right now we have a discussion with Osmosis for going ahead and making that canonical asset proposal like we discussed. On the Polkadot side, we've opened most pools with these assets that we support. So some things like ST Atom, Stargaze, you'll find these in our Pablo decks right now. And sort of the first steps in getting liquidity back to the Polkadot ecosystem has been enabling Cosmos-based incentives on Pablo. So the first iteration of that has been Stride incentives alongside Pika, our native token incentives, on the ST Atom dot pool on the Pablo decks. Right now, we're in the process of completing a proposal and moving Stars incentives over to the Stars dot pool on the Pablo decks as well. But these are kind of the first iteration of starting to get assets back onto Polkadot. as we explore some kind of further options with parachains outside of ourselves as well.
Fair. Okay, that also covers one of the questions forwarded here. Another one is, why is this on Osmosis and not on Pablo, etc.?
So I mean, it is on Pablo right now. I mean, we have .osmosis on Pablo, we have .atom on Pablo, we have staked atom on Pablo. Some of these pools, it's a little bit lower on the liquidity side as we kind of go through the motions of getting this up for the first run. But we're definitely doing as much as we can in terms of getting everything enabled on the DOT side as well from what we can do.
Perfect. Yeah, so one of the questions that I had for this is there any utility for DOT existing right now in the Cosmos ecosystem that would make it feasible for people to take their DOT over there?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think utility that makes the most sense right now is simply liquidity provision on Osmosis. As far as Polkadot goes, Pika, Polkadot, and KSM. Essentially, the idea there is to get liquidity into the DEX so it can kind of enable further access for users. And I say that in the sense that, one, users on Cosmos can go ahead and acquire these tokens, and two, lending protocols have accessibility to liquidity within a DEX to go ahead and liquidate positions. So essentially, right now, we're pretty focused on just building the liquidity itself on Cosmos. And I think, as many people might know, and if you don't, Osmosis is leading DEX over there, so that's why we've been pretty focused on them. Astroport has been quickly building and growing as well, so that's kind of secondary to Osmosis. But right now, we have proposals up with UMI as a lending protocol to kind of go ahead and move forward in utility outside of just swaps itself. And we're also looking at getting up proposals with Mars protocol, another lender on Cosmos, to kind of proliferate that vision, if you will.
Yeah, sounds good. Let me play the devil's advocate right here. So being able to make a return on lending out my DOT on the Cosmos ecosystem sounds good to me, but why would I be in favor of funding $1 million worth of liquidity paired against Osmosis or Astroport?
Yeah, I mean, I think generally the point of view is this. In the Cosmos ecosystem, there's quite a bit of app chains. And I think right now what we've seen is a lot of the activity concentrated to just a few of those. So off the top of my head, I would go ahead and say Cosmos Hub, obviously, Osmosis, and Stride have generally been where most of the activity is within the Cosmos Hub. And I think in terms of attracting users outside of the Polkadot ecosystem, these are sort of the places that are most likely to kind of pick up those users and integrate them to, I guess, being a Polkadot user themselves. So Osmosis is sort of the place that you go ahead and find most assets in the Cosmos ecosystem. I would be surprised if you can't find everything there. So that's kind of been where we're targeting as far as most likely to pick up users that don't currently exist in the Polkadot ecosystem, that are pretty active with this stuff and would go ahead and maybe come back across.
I see. Yeah. Thanks so much, Joseph. Yeah, Rust, what do you think? Any comments, any thoughts?
Yeah, from my side, I really feel that the one of the main problem with the Polkadot ecosystem, this is very isolated from other chains, and to solve and bring some liquidity from different ecosystem, we need the bridge, and the bridge between Polkadot and Cosmos with the biggest total value locked ecosystem. This is very great for Polkadot. This is how I feel that very excited about this bridge between the biggest ecosystem that kind of solve the issue with the multi-chain. And yeah, it's already live. I really tried several times, and yeah, it's worked as expected. It's very easy just to send the assets from Polkadot to Centauri. So this is kind of like a one place hub to move your assets from Cosmos to Polkadot and grab some liquidity from that biggest ecosystem. So yeah, this is very excited for me as for active user and active participant in the Dot ecosystem. So yeah, it's really cool.
All right, yeah, thanks so much. I'm personally of the belief that whenever there is a new protocol that is integrating Dot, there is a huge opportunity. Protocols are able to mint tokens more or less from thin air, and you can farm them if you're early. And if Dot is getting more and more integrated into early farming opportunities for any protocol, may it be lending, AMMs, etc., the more adoption, the better, the bigger the opportunities for Dot holders to farm a project early. So that is definitely something that I am personally very interested in. So yeah, sounds good. Anybody else? Some comments on that? Composable is going to go live with this proposal rather soon. Anybody has some comments, feedback, questions you want to direct at Composable? And 3, 2, 1. I think we are going to do a great job with just staying under the 1 hour mark. Dimitri, please take it away.
Yes, by the way, it look very cool, but could you give some link to your proposal to check how it's look and how it's be developed?
Oh, the
it's
proposal
possible.
is not live as far as I understand. Joseph, correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe you can give us an idea when it will be up.
Yep, not live yet. We're looking to get this up by Wednesday this week. So I think this is something that we can go ahead and share with Dot.Foundation here or Rust, and go ahead and send that out to the community attending these calls.
Thank you.
Fair enough. Just wanted to add, Limo has forwarded that this might be worth a discussion before going to the referendum. So that is something Limo has forwarded. You can take that into consideration or not. But yeah, I think that is everything that we want to discuss about that for now. Let's move on to the last planned activity. Anybody that wants to speak or pitch after that, please be our guest. But from our schedule, the last proposal that we are wanting to look at is from Polkadot Insider. Once again, let me share my screen first. And admit some more people. Hey, we got Jimmy joining our call. Welcome, mate. So we are just looking at the Polkadot Insider proposal, making it a little bit easier on us by clicking AI Summary. Polkadot Insider is seeking funding to continue and maintain their media and educational system for the next 28 weeks. Asking for, yeah, just over 14,000 DOT. There has been some noise I've not heard before. Okay. So yeah, currently this proposal is failing. As far as I've been keeping tabs on the Polkadot Insider funding, it's always been pretty much contested. Yeah, Russ, do we have anybody from Polkadot Insider on today to talk about it?
Oh, there is no one, I think, but there is someone from Polkadot that want to share information about their proposal, and yeah.
Yeah, perfect. We'll get that in. We'll just stay under the 1 hour mark. But yeah, now that we have a lot of people that are actively involved with the governance proposal right here, I would be very, very interested in your opinion on whether this should pass or not, and what are your reasons for, yeah, deciding either way? Does anybody have an opinion here? Rust, please.
I like all of this proposal related to media, and seems that it's gonna raise the new trend to join more media content creator to publish content about Polkadot and bring more and more users. So no matter how this proposal will finish with yes or no, this is a good precedent for the new content creator that will just dive into some opportunity for them and shield Polkadot everywhere on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, wherever. So yeah, I'm personally support Polkadot Insider because they are doing a great job in the Twitter, talking about everything that's going on in the Polkadot ecosystem. So yeah, it's great.
Yeah, good take. Before I give mine on this issue, anybody wants to speak up on Polkadot Insider, whether from the team or just from the community, with a strong opinion on this proposal? We'd love to hear it. And we have Alina raising her hand. Please, take it away.
You are still muted.
Hi. Sorry. I was really eager to see Polkadot Insider today and to ask a couple of questions. So at the moment, I'm wondering why so many, well, there are a lot of media, not a lot of, Polkadot community is pretty small, and I'm the viewer of this channel. But I also have a question, as this is not a technical content, and this channel is asking some funding from the Treasury, and I was wondering if the news will be on the verge in, for example, a couple of months, if this information that this media is translating, if it will be, useful for people in some period of time, because it's for this day, it's cool to have information about what's going on in the community, what are the new projects, and it has a nice storytelling on YouTube. So I'm kind of a fan, but also I have a question why, funding from the community, which is striving for, to make as many developers as possible. So it would be cool if the representative would be here today, maybe next time.
Maybe next time. But Alina, yeah, that's a very fair point that you raised that I wanted to briefly touch upon. Like my overall opinion of this news area that is covering Polkadot is like it's very much targeted inside. It is only really for people that are already involved and just need an easy way to read up on it. So without talking about Polkadot Insiders specifically here, I think like, we should probably as a community, as an ecosystem, try a little bit harder to get people from outside the ecosystem interested, rather than just giving an easy way of catching up with the news for everybody that is currently inside. And that is also pretty much shown by the need of media creators to request funding from the Treasury. If there was sufficient interest, I think it would be very much possible for content creators to just get by on ad revenue, etc. But unfortunately, that's not the case. That's why there is a need for Treasury funding. I'd like that to change, but for the time being, Polkadot Insiders definitely a great way of staying up to date here. All right, that's all the thoughts that I had to offer here. Anybody else? Yes, Rust, please.
Yeah, we really have very good discussion, and there are some people that also want to share some presentation. I think that this meeting will end in a few minutes, but I dropped the message with the upcoming because we kind of didn't think to solve this issue with the 1 hour meeting. So please, there Polkadot that gonna show the proposal. So I really would like to listen something from your side that you want to share with us.
All right. Hello there. This is Damsky from Polkadot. Yeah, I'll share screen so we have a proper presentation up. I hope we will make it in time at least to present that. So this is the referendum number 93, which is about migrating Kusama NFTs to the Polkadot Asset Hub. So it's literally about building an infrastructure to actually bridge the NFTs to the Polkadot Asset Hub. The reason for that is fairly simple. We could see that first of all, Kusama is kind of being left out of all of the recent marketing messages, and I kind of understand this because the fragmentation of what you actually want to share with the community is actually hard to divide by Polkadot and Kusama, where Kusama is perceived by other ecosystems as some kind of testnet, and Polkadot is the playground where you should actually do what you should do. Therefore, we are actually seeing this, and believe a lot of ecosystem moves have been happening, like Guild has migrated and other projects as well. So what we would like to do is propose a migration of the NFTs that are currently stranded on Kusama and minimize the disruption that is actually happening to the Kusama NFT community. There are some choices what to do with the Kusama NFTs. However, the support for current standard is being deprecated, and the users will have almost no options on what to do with them other than migrate to EVM, which is not possibly what everybody wants if we want to preserve the Polkadot ecosystem. Security is, of course, a very important matter here. What we are trying to do is make this as secure as possible, and we will be running tests, audits, and various methods to actually make sure that the migration is happening in a way that we want it to happen, which means successfully. There will be, of course, fees that have to be paid by users, and that is completely fine. However, we will try to cover those, and in case of the deposit fees, which will be either on state mine or statement, pardon me, it's been rebranded to Polkadot or Kusama Asset Hub. User will have a choice whether they want to migrate there or there, but we would prefer the Polkadot Asset Hub. So there is a deposit fee for each collection that the user will have to pay. We're gonna go deeper to the problem. So the NFT data structure is super complex. That is basically currently on the Kusama relay chain, and therefore it's not very simple to just migrate, right? You are migrating from a Kusama relay chain to a system parachain that's based on Polkadot, and I believe you need to have a lot of expertise to actually be able to build it. And I believe Polkadot has the expertise to actually deliver this successfully. Like I said before, Kusama NFT owners like simple and reliable transfer methods, and we would like to actually make this for the community as building the essential public good. Besides that, we would like to execute the migration without compromising value or stability of the ecosystem. That's where I was saying that we will be first testing and auditing the migrator, and afterwards it will be enabled for the community along with some bug hunting, which will be public. And we will try to avoid fracturing 2 years of actually building an Kusama NFT ecosystem, which I think was kind of nice times. Objective is very simple: safely migrate Kusama NFTs to the Polkadot Asset Hub, and this is the migrator, how it's going to look like. Most likely, you're just going to click. In a couple of clicks, you will be able to migrate the NFTs, and we will be using burn and claim mechanism So there is, you can be sure that once you burn your NFTs on one side, you will be able to claim them on the other side. So there will be no duplicates, which is very important while fostering this migration. We have some stats on the Remark 2 and the Kusama NFTs. We can see that there is almost 33,000 owners, unique owners, and the total value log goes up to 34K in Kusama. This means, like, if you would just simply think of the bull run numbers and that this was actually created during the NFT bull run last year and previous years, this is actually a lot of value that's currently locked, and it just cannot happen that users who bought their NFTs for $600, $1,000, $10,000, they will be having no option to actually do anything with the NFTs. It's just like super bad for the ecosystem in general. And I cannot just imagine what would happen if somebody from the outside ecosystems would find out that there are just stranded NFTs with this value. So that's the reason why we decided to do something about it and propose the migration. You can also see that we have a data on the nestable and equitable collections. There is currently 80 unique nestable collections, and that's only 11% out of the whole number of total of collections. So it's essentially not much. However, we might be still too early for the nestable and equipable functions. And we would like to actually enable this on the Polkadot Asset Hub for those that want to continue with this experiment and with this feature. We'll be working on it to actually enable all the functions that the NFTs actually have. Besides like mapping all the NFTs up front, we will have all the data, and equipping and nesting will be available on Polkadot Asset Hub as well. So some benefits, right, for the stakeholders. Like for me, the biggest benefit, like if I come from like other ecosystems as well, and try to be engaged in, for example, Ethereum communities, NFT communities, and so on. I think basically solidifying Polkadot as the major player in the NFT scene for the upcoming bull run will be done through Polkadot Asset Hub, because those NFT sales and just everything we saw in Kusama cannot be again happening on Polkadot Relay Chain. It has to happen on some system parachain that is actually designed for that. So there are pallets, there are other solutions on the Polkadot Asset Hub that can be actually used, and this is exactly the use case. So the Polkadot ecosystem is the one benefiting from this, because if you recall, then Ethereum NFTs and Solana NFTs, there's billions of daily volume, and during the bull run was very high, super high. And once Polkadot actually has some blue chip collections, this can be a really nice attractor for the people to come into the ecosystem as per NFTs. So I'm not sure if I'm running low on time here. It's possible that I am, or are we moving?
You'll get another minute of stage time, but then we'll have to hard break you, unfortunately.
All right. So yeah, besides benefits for validators and the NFT community, it's basically one thing. I think I'm by the end of the proposal. However, we can also move to the other Google Meet so I can finish properly and then have some questions. So if you are guys up for that, then I would propose maybe to move.
Yeah, let's wait. I just paying for this premium subscription, so it's supposed to not drop off us, but in case, yeah. So.
Oh yeah, I think it doesn't show that it's gonna end anymore. So I'll just continue and maybe we'll see. The worst case scenario, we're just gonna get kicked out.
Now I just also got a notification. This call is now unlocked. So yeah, I think
nice.
Yeah, you're good to go.
All right. Okay. So yeah, regarding the benefits of the community, we have gone through that. And regarding milestones and development, the first 3 milestones have already been developed, and the 4th milestone is already in the progress, which is the migrator tool that is going to be available for the community to use. The budget, the total amount requested is 190K. and the 140Ks for the milestones 1 to 3, which were already being developed, and the milestone 4 is currently under process, just like I said before. The team behind this is the team of currently 5 core people, where besides actually our 100+ contributors in our GitHub repo, which is fully open sourced and from day one open source, that's important to note, we have already distributed over $300K, of course, in bounties to the open source repository, building on Substrate and building the front end for NFTs. The multi-chain NFT marketplace, Polkadot. So yeah, this is from me. Thank you very much for your presence here, and I'll be happy to answer questions.
Yeah, thanks so much for that, Damsky. I think it would be better to discuss the proposal the next time around when it is live. But generally, I think it would be very interested to learn where do you see Polkadot NFTs or Kusama NFTs having an edge over what you see at Solana, at Ethereum. Basically, just, yeah, maybe extrapolate for a minute what are nestable NFTs, etc. So what are the things we can do here that is impossible over at Ethereum or Solana?
I mean, nothing is really impossible, right? You can build whatever you want. This really depends on what actually users want and what is the demand for it. I wouldn't say that there are not things that are impossible to build on Polkadot. However, what I think Polkadot is missing in general in terms of the NFT scene is this has been like actually talked through many times, but I think that Polkadot is missing like a proper blue chip collection that actually gets in the people into the ecosystem. When you think about like CryptoPunks or BASE collections on Ethereum, then of course there was the Solana hype, and there were also collections that were kind of blue chip-ish, right? And that made the Ethereum people actually move to Solana. And that's what we actually need people to do as well with Polkadot, besides NFTs being like a great first entry level into the ecosystem. This is what I actually think what is missing on Polkadot and what could be better in the future. However, it's important to note that it's not just like a Polkadot blue chip collection. There are usually big teams behind such collections, and it takes a long time to build. So that's my take. And the referenda is actually live. I'm not sure if you guys didn't see it, but yeah, it's live under number 93.
Number 93. Yeah, that escaped us. All right, so it is live. Thanks so much for that, Damsky. Okay, so the killer NFT collection for Polkadot is yet to come. Not so great for my current NFTs, but certainly making me hopeful for the future here. Any other things that we want to briefly touch upon? Rust, we are now at the 1 hour mark, so maybe a good chance to wrap it up unless there is something that we really need to bring up here. What do you think, Rust?
Yeah, we have 2 more proposals that we can discuss it right now. Not discuss, but just listen to the presentation. And I really think they're pretty cool. The one of them is from DappForce, related to this grill chat. That's really very cool decentralized chat for anything that you can just set it up in the inside of Polkadot ecosystem. So yeah, let's not ask a lot of questions, but to get a best overview of these 2 proposals that we have right now, and we can discuss and listen. Yeah, let's go.
Sounds good to me. Krill chat, if you people have been using sub.id, that is one of the places where grill chat is coming up. Yeah. So basically, yeah, you can have conversations centered around topics, usually parachains. If we have somebody here, let's see the presentation.
Yeah, 1 second, I will share. Do you see my presentation?
Yes, we can. Please take it away.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Today I want to present our OpenCom. Uh, OpenCom projects. You said and hear about Grill Chat, but Grill Chat it's just UI interface. It's a just interface for the stuff. It's a little bit more than just chat. And today I want to explain this. So OpenCom, we called it the communication layer of Web3. They allow connect your users together and enable real-time communication using in-app messaging on-chain. So it's on-chain messaging or on our social Web3 parachain. And Polkadot needs OpenCom communications. We asked a few projects about their communication with their Web2 users and got the feedback that they really need to some discussions with stockholders with wallets, because right now for communication with your community you need to go to Telegram, Discord, Twitter, whatever. But uh, people lives on blockchain and use Polkadot addresses for it. And right now our OpenCom lives on Polkassembly, Zguys, sub.id, and few another small projects. And few projects also interested in integration the protocols, the widget. And we got good feedback from our Polkadot community in Twitter when we present the grill chat and as an interface for OpenCom. And main vision of OpenCom is a main clients and one discourse. So it's allows that few apps can uh, can have similar conversation around of one topic, and people can choose any interface for talking about the entity. For example, you can discuss about some NFT on Singular and Polkadot, and it's same NFT, so it should be one discourse, same discourse for one NFT. And we realize it already. It's already exists, and right now you can discuss about Polkadot proposals, for example, from Polkassembly and from Grill.chat. Yeah, and second problem, it's right now Web3 social is really frictions. Have a lot of different frictions, and our main goal was create a frictionless onboarding for Web3 social, and we did it. Right now, you can use our Grill Chat UI as a without tokens, extension, and transaction confirmation. You just can open it from phone, from desktop, doesn't matter, and use it. Also, you can integrate, link your wallet. Right now, it's a EVM wallet, and we are going to add Substrate wallet. It's included in our proposal, and it's free for users. Users don't pay anything, but projects can support their users for for uh, for support the frictionless interaction with app. And also integration is a breeze. Right now we create a iframe. It's some simple integration where we frame in few line of code, and guys from Z guys and Polkassembly said about it. You can check it in our proposal summary. We put few quotes about the experience. And our OpenCom allow projects to connect with their customers, with their users, their token holders, engage it in app without jumping into some messengers. And in the future, we are working on features for retain users into app for because often people just because right now we are using a lot of different apps, a lot of interesting things exist in our ecosystem, and people often just forgot about something. So we are find out right now how we can motivate users to return to the apps. And it's a on-chain social, so we can easily integrate different Web3 features natively and with great UX. It could be NFT gated access, for example. It could be embed assets. Right now, we will already embed NFTs, and you can easily put NFTs, just share link on Singular, Tofu NFT, OpenSea, whatever. Also, your digital identity. Right now, we support Ethereum name system, and we're working on integration. Killed Web3 names, subsocial profiles, and some another digital identity includes Polkadot identity. Also, you can easily send tips on Substrate and EVM chains, because it's natively, and you can link your different identities and different address and use one app for interaction with different your addresses. And in the future, it could be also added some DAO features. Of course, we have open governments. It's a great stuff. It's a real well quality stuff. But often, if people want to easy interact with some content and react on it, like in reaction on Telegram. Yeah. So it's also because my main problem in DAO, it's people don't want to vote, and we want to uh, rid of the friction for voting, for hard choice, and just provide easy interface for create pools and do some simple voting in social protocol. Yeah. Also, we want to merge all your identity, your cross-chain identity, in one your great profile.
Sorry, Ole, I'll have to ask you to wrap it up in a minute, but
Yeah?
just to be conscious of time, please go on.
Okay. So it's last slides. Moderation, of course. We are living on chain, and we should thinking about moderation. And we have three different options for moderation. It's a client-side moderation, when just client can hide a content. Your space owner or client owner can hide, but it's not deleted. It's existing in blockchain, and another client can easily render it. So, for example, Polkadot hide some comment, singular node. Also, we can create the block list for easy sharing the blocked content, blocked accounts, and create a good moderation graph for all clients. Also roles and permissions. Also, we are working on unification and engagement. Right now, we have created a Telegram bot, and a little bit insights. We'll almost create a web push notification. In a few days, we will release it, and we are we will working on another stuff for engagement users too. And how it's work? It's work on it's a layer. Okay, I will skip the slide because really a little time. Okay, and also in production we have a few different Web3 features right now. It's NFT, if I say it, donation, and even ENS identity right now. And little bit statistics. In the last week we got around of 10,000 visitors, and it's around of 1,000 active users. It's users, I mean, it's others who interact with write at least one message in our gallery chat. That's all. It was my presentation.
Thank you, Ole. And just give us a quick reminder, which referendum is it?
It's right now. It's not a referenda. Right now, it's a just post. I
Right.
can I can share the link. Right now we are collecting a feedback from ecosystem and answer on questions. And I think in next week we will start voting. But right now it's just we're getting feedback, and maybe we'll create some AMA on our site for sharing all answers for all questions. Yeah.
Sounds good. I think Alina has a question.
Yeah. As far as I understand, the project is inspired by Telegram, and I really like the model that users don't pay for using this extension or app or chat. I'm wondering, are you thinking about some other sources of income apart from the projects who are paying for that and donations? Will there be ad? Will there be some extended features for some users if they want some upgraded profile? And about what sum of money are you thinking when you will be creating the referenda? Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for the questions. Yeah, it's true. User, it's not. Honestly, we don't expert on Telegram, but yeah, we check in Telegram, Discord, some UI. Generally, our main strategy is that projects who integrate the OpenCom can sponsor their users who join to the OpenCom layer, for example, from that guys could be sponsored from that guy's side, for example. Yeah, and about donation, it's also a feature more for projects who can motivate user interact with their content, with their website, and reward great stuff. So yeah, it's more project centric. Also for about your questions about some making money, honestly, we are thinking about some maybe additional stuff, additional upgrading profile, something like this. But right now we are concentrating on allowing value for OpenGAL firstly, and allow the open social graph for all. And yeah. And also we are thinking about some. It's right now it's a free fall, but in the future we can create some gate access that, for example, not only for NFT, it could be for if you hold 1,000 DOT, you can post on open government chats, for example, yeah, or on some chats from, for example, if you hold Z guys, you can post in Z guys. If you hold some NFT, you can interact with chat for the NFT collection. Yeah, we are thinking about allowing chatting by some your identity, some bounce assets. So yeah, it's our main ideas in the future. But right now we are concentrating on functionality for easy, smooth interacting with Polkadot into their OpenCom layer.
Yeah, I mean, so how many more steps are left to onboard the project? So you are thinking of creating the proposal for some particular sum of money. So I was wondering, it's all about the money, you know. What do you need the money for? Are you going to extend your team, or do you still have some steps of the project that are not online already?
Thank you. Thank you for clarification. Yeah, right now we are we created all. I don't know. For example, around of 60% of the proposal. It's a little almost a retroactive proposal. And yeah, right now our team, it's we are living on our additional costs, and we're concentrating for really different stuffs, and we want to develop it not only as a just Polkadot centric product, but some people from ecosystem asked us about ecosystem centric features, and we decide apply to the proposal for have a funding for creating that Polkadot centric features. Yeah, that's support for supporting Polkadot wallets, substrate connection, substrate identity, Polkadot identity, and integrating with Polkassembly. If you can you check our proposal in one of the part, it's merging comments from Polkassembly and from our OpenCom in one thread. Yeah. So
Yeah, cool.
Thank
Really,
you for creating the added value, and well, it is, as far as I understand, your kind of side project for your team. Well done, and while creating a proposal, this will be like additional
our
adds for the
OpenCom, yeah,
project.
OpenCom is right now is our main focus for our team, but we have a different side direction for developing the grill. It's our vision. It's a app. It's a super app for different stuff, and one of those is Polkadot. And right now we are ready to focus on Polkadot, but we need to we are going to do it if ecosystem support us in the direction, because a lot of Polkadot stuff is really specific for Polkadot, and we can't use it in Ethereum ecosystem for Web2 users. So it's really quite specific stuff, and we want to we want to be sure that the stuff is really neat for ecosystem, and it's a good good validation of it.
Yeah,
cool. Thank
thanks so
you
much.
for this explanation. Yeah, we need to bring some improvements for the next time to make some timer to the speaker. Yeah, great.
Sorry for the long time. Yeah, 'cause
No, you done great, Ole. I mean, yeah, we of course this is our first episode, right? So yeah, it's a learning experience. Like, do we have to time box it? Do we have enough people wanting to show anything off? So yeah, great stuff there. I'm wondering when token, but that is something that we should be discussing in another venue. Let's save some up of the good stuff for our second episode. Yeah, so let's wrap it up here. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining. It's been great to see all of these proposals, get some feedback on what is going on. Thanks so much, Rust, for co-moderating. You want to say something here as final words, please?
Yeah. This is not the final word, but we still promise to Bruce to give him speech about his proposal. So yeah, sorry for the issue with our timing. Please, Bruce, share your thoughts, and we're gonna improve everything in next time. Bruce, yeah.
No pressure, Bruce, though.
Okay?
Yeah. Hey, am I audible?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Jonathan. Thanks, Dev. So if you guys just can give me 5 minutes, I'll just make the presentation real quick. Would that work?
Please, go ahead.
Awesome. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I'd just like to start with setting a bit of context about how our journey at YieldBay began. Right. And it began with a really simple question that I'm sure all of us in the community have had at some point, which is what's stopping people, like even within crypto, from using DeFi projects on Polkadot, right? To understand like what's the cause behind this, right? We decided to take a look at yield farming because we feel that yield farming is fundamentally uh, is the major way that most projects try to attract liquidity for their liquidity pools, right? And liquidity is kind of this lifeblood for the entire DeFi ecosystem. So what we found out was that this is kind of what yield farming in Polkadot looks like, right? With so many little technical details and nuances, you either need to become an expert on-chain detective or you have to give up because you have better things to do in life, right? So to further expand on this, the current process is difficult. It's the information about these yield farms is dispersed across several platforms like Twitter, newsletters, or sometimes just remains in collective memories. That is to say that they're hard to find and even harder to use. Uh, the process is also tedious and time consuming. Tracking and monitoring your positions is a hassle. You have to spend like hours updating spreadsheets, jumping from platform to platform, and the spreadsheets keep breaking down because of CoinGecko's rate limits, right? So definitely not the best way to spend your Friday nights. If I were to sum it up in one sentence, it would be that the experience currently sucks, right? So this led to the next natural question, which is, what can we do to fix it, right? So like, what can we do to just get us one step closer to a more usable yield farming experience on Polkadot, one step closer to just lower barriers to entry, right? Something that would be simple, easy, and frictionless. An experience where you could just choose the yield farm that you like, uh, click a few buttons, and then just sit back and watch your earnings grow. Right. So that's exactly what we built. We like to call it YieldBay 1. And if I were to sum it up in one sentence, it is something that gets us a step closer to a more accessible DeFi ecosystem on Polkadot. Right. And by the way, this is already live on list.yieldbay.com. I think we're running a little short on time, so I'll keep the presentation to this and just move to what we are asking for within the referenda. Right. So the referenda is currently live. It's referenda number 97, and I would encourage you to share your thoughts on the same. What we're asking for is $80,000 in DOT to reimburse the development costs for building this. Basically, what we've improved upon over the last version is the last version was mostly just a listicle that allowed you to find farms from across the entire ecosystem. That solved the information asymmetry problem, but it was still kind of difficult for you to just get started investing in these farms because you had to still sort of click on these various different farms and then figure out the nuanced UX of every different platform. And it was just a difficult process, right? Now what you can do is just find the farm and within that one cohesive interface, you can just click a few buttons, connect your wallet. And by the way, we support both Ethereum and substrate-based wallets. And even, you can probably even do it using Nova Wallet or Sub Wallet on your mobile phone. And just click a few buttons and you'll be able to monitor all your positions, all your yield farming positions from one cohesive dashboard across the entire Kusama ecosystem. So I guess I'll keep the presentation to that. Thank you so much for giving me the time to share this with you. I'm open to any questions or feedback on the same. My handle on Twitter is @0xTheRealBatman. So feel free to reach out to me there and happy to take any questions right now.
Hey, Bruce. Yeah, I realized that I know you from somewhere. Yes, YieldBay, that was it. Yeah, lovely. I think that is one of the greatest problems we have right now. We have comparable yield farms to Ethereum, but as you pointed out, there is zero rewards. Yeah, maybe next time around we should be discussing whether that is actually a good idea to divert some funds from the treasury to actually making yield farms attractive. Maybe some food for thought. We are probably going to give it some prelude leading up to the next time. Thanks so much, Bruce. Check out proposal number 97. Is that correct?
Yep. Thank you so much for giving me the chance to present, Jonathan. Really appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for coming on. Lovely. Big fan of YieldBay. So yeah, both thumbs up from my side. Yeah, okay. Rust, any last thoughts before I'm going to go into closing words?
Yeah, there's nothing from my side. You did a great job, and big thanks to you. So yeah, and thank you, Bruce, for very structured, very well structured presentation that showed everything very clear and just in time. So yeah, see you next time.
Perfect. Yeah, thanks to you, Rust. Thanks to our lovely audience. Thanks, Alina, for getting involved. Thanks, Limo, for passing on the questions of the community. Thanks, everybody presenting. Thanks to everybody listening in. Thanks to all of our future listeners once this video is making its way to YouTube. And with that, yeah, wishing everybody a great day and hope to see you around next week for Citizen Auditors episode 2. Take it easy. Have a great day. Bye-bye.